Costco quietly discontinues roughly a quarter of its non-staple items every single quarter. Most people don't know that. And because they don't know it, they walk past items on the shelf today that will not be there in 3 weeks, with zero warning, zero announcement, just an empty space where the thing used to be. I went to the Costco warehouse this week specifically to solve that problem for you. I grabbed 12 new items that are on the floor right now. Some of them I have never seen at my warehouse before in my life. I brought everything home. I tasted it, scanned it, verified the ingredients, did the price math against what you'd pay at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, and I am going to give you the full verdict on every single one. 12 items. 8 of them are genuine buys. 2 are in the middle, better than most, but not perfect. 2 are definitive skips, and I'll tell you exactly why so you don't waste the money. Before we get into it, and we're moving fast today because we have a lot to cover, if you're not subscribed yet and you're still watching this point in the video, 11 million plus people get this research every week for free. Hit subscribe and you never miss a haul again. Now, let's go. Item 12. Jackson's Avocado Oil Snack Variety Pack. We are starting in the chip aisle, and the first thing I want you to see is this variety pack from Jackson's. You get 30 bags, 30, for $13 and change. Before I even get into the ingredients, let me do the math on that. $13 for 30 bags is 43 cents per bag. Go to any grocery store and grab a single-serve bag of anything remotely clean, and you are paying $1.25 to $2. You're looking at a 3-to-1 value difference on price alone. Now here's why the ingredients actually matter on this one. All 3 varieties in this pack, the sweet potato chips, the kettle chips, and the super veggie straws, are cooked in avocado oil. That is not a small thing. Most chips you pick up in any store, even ones that look healthy, are cooked in canola oil or sunflower oil. Both of those are high-heat processed seed oils, and avocado oil is genuinely different. Its smoke point sits around 520 degrees Fahrenheit, compared to around 400 degrees for canola. That matters because at high frying temperatures, unstable oils oxidize and form compounds you do not want in your food. Avocado oil doesn't have that problem at chip frying temperatures. Ingredient verdict on this one: gold. This is the cleanest mass market chip option I've seen at Costco at this price point. And taste? I tested all 3 varieties. The kettle chips have a satisfying crunch and a clean, neutral flavor. The sweet potato chips are slightly sweet and more delicate. The veggie straws are light and snackable. My daughter loves them, and she is a tough critic. If I'm ranking the pack, kettle chips edge it for me, but I'd buy all 3 again without hesitation. This is the right way to start a haul. A clear win, a real value, and an ingredient story that actually holds up. Stay with me, because the next item in this same aisle is more complicated, and the complication is worth understanding. Item 11. Boulder Beef Tallow Chips. Right next to the Jackson's Variety Pack sits something that stopped me in my tracks. A monster bag of Boulder Beef Tallow Chips. 3 ingredients on the back: potatoes, beef tallow, sea salt. For $7.99. On paper, that sounds almost too good. And here's where it gets interesting. When I scanned this with the Bobby Approved app, it came up as not approved. I want to tell you exactly why, because I think the nuance here actually helps you shop smarter everywhere, not just today. Beef tallow as a frying medium is legitimately better than industrial seed oils. It's a saturated fat, it's stable at high temperatures, it doesn't oxidize the way canola or sunflower does, and it's been used in cooking for centuries. That's all real. The issue is sourcing. We emailed the company. The tallow in this product is not confirmed as grass-fed, non-GMO, or organic. That matters because tallow from conventionally raised cattle has a meaningfully different fatty acid profile than tallow from grass-fed animals, specifically lower omega-3 content and a less favorable omega-6. So here's my honest verdict. This is a silver. It is better than the vast majority of chips on any shelf anywhere. It is not the gold standard. If you have the choice between these and a conventional chip cooked in sunflower oil, take the tallow chip every time. Just go in with clear eyes about what you're getting. On taste, these are genuinely good. The chip is thicker and heartier than most. There's a distinct savory beef flavor, not overwhelming, but present. They hold up well without going soft. I finished more of this bag than I intended to. We're staying in this aisle for one more item. And this one has a similar story to bolder, cleaner sounding than it actually is when you look closely. Item 10. Gorillo's Pickle Avocado Oil Chips. The skip. Gorillo's pickle-flavored avocado oil chips. The avocado oil part sounds good. The ingredient list doesn't. When you're buying avocado oil chips for the health angle, you're buying them because you want to avoid the additives and artificial flavor compounds in conventional snacks. Here's the problem. To create that pickle flavor, Gorillo's uses natural flavors. They also use yeast extract. Here's what most people don't realize about natural flavors. The FDA allows manufacturers to use the term natural flavors to cover over 2,500 approved flavor compounds. The natural in that phrase refers to the original source of the compound, not to how it was processed or concentrated. You have no idea from the label what those flavors actually are, where they came from, or how they were extracted. That's a hard pass for me. The avocado oil base is doing good work here, and the chip texture is fine. But when I'm going out of my way to buy a clean chip, I'm not interested in a long additive list underneath a good-sounding oil. Skip this one. The good news, you now have the mental model for reading chip labels at Costco. The oil is the first filter. The rest of the ingredient list is the second. Both have to clear for a gold verdict. We're leaving the chip aisle now. And what I found in the bread section. I genuinely had not seen this at my warehouse before. Ever. Item 9. Organic Take and Bake Sourdough. 3 loaves. 3 organic sourdough loaves, take and bake, for $10. I want you to do this math with me right now. 1 organic sourdough loaf at a quality grocery store runs $5 to $7. You are getting 3 of them for the price of 2. That's the deal. But here's the thing I wanted to verify before I told you this was worth buying, because sourdough on a label means almost nothing legally. Walk through any bread aisle and you'll see sourdough branding on products that contain 0 fermentation. They add vinegar or citric acid to simulate the sour flavor. That is not sourdough. That is flavored bread. This product? We emailed the company directly. It is genuinely fermented sourdough. The ingredients confirm it: organic unbleached wheat flour, water, salt, barley malt. No vinegar, no citric acid, no flavor additives. The barley malt is added specifically to create the golden crust color during baking. It doesn't affect the fermentation. Why does that matter beyond taste? Real fermented sourdough has a glycemic index of approximately 54, compared to around 71 for standard white bread. The fermentation process breaks down phytic acid and partially pre-digests the gluten, making it genuinely easier on digestion than most bread. And that's not marketing language, that's basic food chemistry. Here's something Costco almost never does. They stocked a product in April 2026 that legitimately improves gut health via real fermentation at a price that undercuts every natural grocery store in the country. That is rare on a warehouse shelf. Pro tip on baking: preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake directly on the oven rack for 18 to 22 minutes. You want a hollow sound when you tap the bottom. Pull it early and the crust won't set. Nail the timing and you get a crust that shatters on the knife and a center that's still soft. Ingredient verdict: gold. This is one of the cleanest, best value bread products I've seen at Costco in years. And something I spread on this bread? I'll show you that exact combination before the end of this video, because that pairing is worth waiting for. Stay with me. The next item moved from the bread section into snacks, and it's the bar I've been recommending to people for months. Item 8. Toasty Crunchy Seed and Nut Bars. 16 bars for $16. $1 per bar. I want to put that number in context for you. A clean protein or seed bar at a grocery store. I'm talking about RX bar, Kind, or any bar in the premium natural section. Runs $2.50 to $3.50 each, minimum. Some hit $4. This is $1 a bar. And when I looked at what's actually in it, I was genuinely surprised. The ingredient list reads like a nutrition brief, not a food label. Almonds, flax seeds, sesame seeds, chia seeds. That's the base. The sweetener is cassava syrup and evaporated coconut blossom nectar. Dried blueberries. That's the list. Here's something worth knowing about cassava syrup specifically, because a lot of people see syrup and get cautious. Cassava is a whole root vegetable. The syrup produced from it is relatively low on the glycemic index compared to corn or rice syrup. It doesn't create the same blood sugar spike as conventional sweeteners, and it carries trace minerals from the root. It's a meaningfully different ingredient than high fructose corn syrup, despite both being sweeteners. 3 grams of fiber per bar. That combination supports satiation. You eat one of these and you're not reaching for another 15 minutes later. That matters when you're grabbing a portable snack for the road or a kid's lunch. On taste, nutty, not cloyingly sweet, with a slight crunch. They're a little crumbly, I'll be honest about that. If you bite hard, it breaks into pieces. Keep that in mind for car snacking. But between the two flavors, cashew coconut ranks above almond blueberry for me. Both are good. Both earn the gold verdict. From the bar aisle to the cheese section. And this is where today's haul makes a significant jump in quality level, because what I found in the refrigerated section is not something I expected to see at a warehouse store at this price. Item 7. Kirkland Double Crème Brie from Normandy, France. $10.99 for imported Normandy Brie. Let me tell you what that number means. Go to Whole Foods right now and look for Normandy Brie, real Normandy Brie, not domestic Brie, labeled to look French. You're looking at $16 to $22 for a comparable wheel. You are getting Kirkland-priced access to a genuinely premium European cheese that carries an AOP designation. AOP stands for Appellation d'Origine Protégée. It's a French government protection designation that means this cheese can only be called Normandy Brie if it was produced in the Normandy region, according to 27 specific production criteria. It's not marketing. It's a legal standard. Costco sourced a product that meets that standard for under $11. We verified with the company the cows producing the milk for this brie are grass-fed, with non-GMO supplemental feed. Both of those details are on the label, but most people walk past them without registering what they mean. What most people miss when they buy brie, they eat it cold, straight from the refrigerator, and they wonder why it doesn't taste the way it's supposed to. Here's the reason. Cold temperature suppresses the volatilization of aromatic compounds, the flavor molecules that give brie its complex. When brie is cold, those compounds stay bound to the fat. When it warms to room temperature, they release. You're smelling and tasting a completely different product. Let the brie sit out for a full hour before serving. Not 30 minutes. 60. I know that feels like a long time, but the cheese you're eating after 60 minutes at room temperature. And here's the combination I've been promising since item 9. That organic sourdough, baked fresh, sliced warm, with this brie spread directly onto it while the crust is still crackling. That is a $10 sourdough and an $11 brie from a single warehouse trip, producing something you would pay $25 for at a restaurant. That's the actual value of knowing what to grab. Ingredient verdict: gold. One of the best deals in this entire haul. If this video has saved you money and confusion already, a quick like takes 2 seconds and helps this reach people. Now let's keep going, because the next item might be the most practical snack Costco has ever stocked for people managing energy. Item 6. Organic almond butter, stuffed dates. Individually wrapped. Organic medjool dates. Stuffed with almond butter. $12.89 for the pack. I've seen stuffed dates at specialty food stores. I've seen them at farmers markets. I've seen them online. I have not seen them at Costco before today, in this individually wrapped format at this price. Let's talk about what's actually happening nutritionally in this product, because I think most people look at it as a sweet snack and miss something more interesting. Here's where this haul takes a turn I didn't expect. This item might be the most strategically useful snack Costco has ever stocked for anyone managing energy and focus across a demanding day, and the reason why has to do with how a single medjool date contains approximately 9 grams of natural sugar. It's a high-energy, fast-access fuel source. Left alone, that sugar enters the bloodstream relatively quickly. But when you pair that date with almond butter, which delivers roughly 3.5 grams of fat per serving, you fundamentally change the metabolic picture. Dietary fat slows gastric emptying, which means the sugar from the date is absorbed over a longer time window, producing a more sustained energy curve rather than a spike and a crash. The food product has literally been built around this mechanism. The date delivers the energy. The almond butter extends it. That's not an accident. Taste, sweet, creamy, deeply satisfying in a way that makes one date genuinely feel like enough. I don't overeat these because one is satisfying. That is not true of most sweet snacks. Ingredient verdict: gold. One ingredient in the date: almond butter with minimal additives. No seed oils, no natural flavors, no filler. And speaking of that energy combination, the next item pairs with this one in a way that I think makes for the most practical mid-afternoon energy stack. Stay with me. Item 5. Organic mushroom coffee. Single origin Peruvian. 2 pounds. 2 pounds of organic single origin Peruvian coffee with 4 functional mushrooms: chaga, lion's mane, maitake. Before I get into the functional mushroom side, let me acknowledge that this category is polarizing. Some people love the idea of adaptogenic mushrooms in their coffee. Some people think it's wellness marketing dressed up in scientific language. I want to be precise about what the research actually shows, because I think the truth is more nuanced than either camp admits. Lion's mane specifically has been the subject of peer-reviewed research on cognitive function. A 2019 study published in Biomedical Research found that adults who consumed 3 grams of lion's mane daily for 4 weeks showed measurable improvement on cognitive assessment scores compared to a placebo group. That is one study in older adults at a specific dose. It is preliminary. But it is not nothing, and it is more support than most functional food claims can point to. The chaga and cordyceps in this blend are less studied on cognition specifically, but have decades of use in traditional medicine systems. I'm not going to overstate that, but I'm also not going to dismiss it. What I can tell you with complete confidence is how this tastes. I brewed a cup at home. It tastes like good black coffee. There is a subtle earthiness underneath that you might notice if you're looking for it, but if I hadn't told you there were mushrooms in it, most people would drink this and call it a slightly complex, full-bodied dark roast. The mushrooms are genuinely not intrusive. 2 notes on this product: it's pre-ground, so use it within 2 to 3 weeks of opening for peak freshness. Don't let it sit in an open bag for 2 months. And this is a 2-pound bag. That's a lot of coffee to use before it degrades. Buy it if you're a daily drinker or sharing it across a household. Ingredient verdict: gold. Organic, single origin, 4 mushrooms, no additives. And here's the combination: 1 almond butter stuffed date and a cup of this mushroom coffee. That is your 2 p.m. energy stack. Both from this Costco trip. Both under $40 total for a supply that lasts weeks. That is the kind of practical value that gets me excited about a haul. Before we get to the last 3 items, and the number 1 pick is something I want you to remember the next time you're standing in the warehouse, let me show you one more thing. Because the next item is one of the most common impulse buys in any Costco haul, and in this case, you should walk past it. Item 4. Organic soft-baked granola bites. The skip. Organic soft-baked granola bites. The deal looks good. The packaging looks clean. The word organic is right there on the front. And the app says not approved. Let me tell you exactly why, because this one is a useful lesson beyond just today's haul. We are running out of time on these April items, so I want to give you the clearest possible picture of what to put in the cart and what to leave on the shelf. This one goes back on the shelf. The issue is twofold. First, these contain sunflower oil. I know I've been talking about seed oils all day, and I want to be direct about why this one specifically fails the test. Sunflower oil is approximately 68% linoleic acid by composition, making it one of the highest linoleic oils you'll find in processed food. A 2023 meta-analysis of dietary linoleic acid intake found associations between high linoleic acid consumption and elevated inflammatory markers in several populations. That research is still active and not fully settled, but there's enough signal there that I'm not reaching for this product when better options exist. Second issue, natural flavors. Same conversation as item 10. In a product that's supposed to be a clean organic snack, natural flavors is a flag, not a pass. Here's the good news. If you want a portable organic seed and nut-based snack that delivers fiber and protein without these flags, item 8, the toasty crunchy bars, is the direct alternative. Better ingredient profile, better price per unit, and I've already confirmed it tastes good. That's the swap. 2 items left. And I told you at the beginning that number 1 would be worth the wait. We're almost there. Let's go to frozen. Item 3. Organic frozen mango chunks. 5 pounds. 5 pounds of organic frozen mango for $10.39. I want to do the price math on this one because it's legitimately striking. Fresh organic mango at a grocery store runs $2.50 to $3.50 per pound, depending on the season. That means 5 pounds of fresh organic mango would cost you $12 to $17, before factoring in net usable mango from fresh, about 3¼ pounds for the same $12 to $17. You're getting 5 full pounds of ready-to-use mango for $10.40 here. That's not a close comparison. And here's something most people don't think about when they grab fresh fruit: the nutritional comparison between fresh and frozen. Frozen mango is flash frozen within hours of peak ripeness, which locks in the vitamin C and beta-carotene content at the point of maximum concentration. Fresh mango in a grocery store has typically been picked before peak ripeness, transported for 2 to 5 days, and held in refrigeration, all of which degrades heat-sensitive vitamins. Studies on frozen versus fresh fruit nutrition suggest that frozen mango can retain up to 90% of its vitamin C content, while fresh mango after 5 or more days of cold storage may retain closer to 60%. Ingredient verdict: gold. 1 ingredient: organic mango. That's the entire label. On use: blend it with a splash of milk or coconut milk and a scoop of protein powder. I use a pineapple coconut flavor that pairs perfectly with mango, and you have a genuinely complete meal replacement smoothie. Healthy fat, natural carbohydrates, protein. Done in 90 seconds. That's the kind of functional use case that makes a 5-pound bag of frozen fruit one of the most practical purchases in this entire haul. 1 item left. And this is the one I want you to hold in your mind when you actually walk into the warehouse this week. Because this last item is less about a single product and more about the mechanism that makes everything on today's list. Item 2. The Bobby-approved app. Your warehouse scanner. This one isn't packaged goods. It's the tool that changes how you shop every haul, not just this one. The Bobby-approved app is free. You open it at the warehouse, point your camera at any barcode, and in about 2 seconds you have a full ingredient verdict. Not a calorie count. Not a macro breakdown. An ingredient quality assessment based on sourcing, processing, and additive flags, which is a completely different metric from what most food apps give you. Here's why this matters in a warehouse specifically. Costco is one of the best and worst places to buy food simultaneously. The best, because the value on genuinely clean products, like the ones I showed you today, is hard to match anywhere. The worst, because the same shelves carry products that look clean, carry organic labeling, and have ingredient problems buried on line 7 of the list. Most people can't read those labels fast enough to make a confident call at the shelf. The app does it in under 3 seconds. What most people don't realize, scanning before you buy, not when you get home, is the entire value of the tool. If you scan something at home after you've already bought it and find a flag, you've already spent the money. Scan in the aisle. Make the swap before checkout. In a single shopping trip, that habit can redirect $30 to $60 of purchases toward better products. The community around the app is 11 million subscribers strong, and it gets updated regularly as companies change formulas and sourcing. That's not a static list, it reflects real-time changes. And before I get to the number 1 item, here's the combination I promised you back at item 9. Organic sourdough from the bread section, baked at 425 degrees for 20 minutes, sliced while the crust is still crackling. Kirkland Normandy brie, room temperature for 60 minutes before serving, spread directly onto that warm bread. That is a $22 combination from a single Costco trip that produces food you would genuinely pay restaurant prices for. That's the real ROI of knowing what to grab. Okay, number 1. Here it is. And I want you to pay close attention, because this isn't just about a product. It's about understanding why today's date actually matters for everything I showed you. Item 1. The Costco rotation window. Why May 1st is real. Here is something that almost no Costco haul video ever explains, and I think it's the most practically useful thing I can tell you before you make your list. Costco is not a traditional grocery store. It doesn't stock products indefinitely and reorder them when they sell out. It operates on a planogram system, a structured shelf allocation map that gets reviewed and reset on a quarterly basis. Every item on those shelves has a velocity threshold. If a product isn't selling at the rate Costco's buyers need to justify the shelf space, it gets pulled. No announcement. No clearance sale. No warning. It's just gone. Costco is estimated to turn over approximately 25 to 30% of its non-staple SKUs, that's stock-keeping units, meaning individual products, every quarter. That's a quarter of the shelves changing out roughly every 3 months. And the timing of that rotation is not random. Warehouse buyers submit shelf allocation reports in the final weeks of each quarter. Items that haven't hit their velocity targets in the April window are the ones at risk of not making it into the summer planogram. That's what before May 1st actually means in practice. It's not a content deadline. It's an inventory mechanics deadline. Items I showed you today, the organic sourdough, the brie, the stuffed dates, the mushroom coffee, these are new to the floor. They haven't established a velocity history yet. The first 4 to 6 weeks on the shelf are when Costco decides whether something gets a permanent slot or gets rotated out. By May, some of these will have earned their space. Some won't. And by the time you realize which ones disappeared, the window will have closed. This is the part of warehouse shopping that rewards the people who move early. Not dramatically early. Just ahead of the moment when the decision gets made without you. I'll also say this for anyone watching from a different region. These items are confirmed available in the Southeast warehouse. Costco's inventory is regional, which means your warehouse may have some of these and not others. Use the app, check the Costco website, or call your local warehouse before making a special trip. That's the honest note. Ingredient verdict on this one, the knowledge itself is gold. Let me bring this all the way home for you. 8 gold items from this haul. The Jackson's Avocado Oil Variety Pack. The Organic Sourdough 3-pack. The Toasty Crunchy Seed Bars. The Kirkland Normandy Brie. The Almond Butter Stuffed Dates. The Mushroom Coffee. The Organic Frozen Mango. And the knowledge of how Costco's rotation system actually works. 2 silver items, better than most, not perfect. The Boulder Beef Tallow Chips earn that rating. Use them when your choice is between these and a seed oil chip, and don't look back. Just know what you're buying. 2 definitive skips. The Gorillo's Pickle Chips, natural flavors undo the avocado oil benefit. The Organic Granola Bites, sunflower oil and natural flavors in a product positioning itself as clean. Put them back and grab the seed bars instead. And the one combination worth making before anything else? Sourdough and brie. $22 from a single warehouse trip. I'd put that against any restaurant charcuterie board. Here's the timing that matters. These are April items. The planogram review window is closing. Some of these will still be on the floor in June. Some won't. The ones I flagged as new to the warehouse, the sourdough, the brie, the stuffed dates, those are the ones with the least velocity history and the most uncertainty. If any of those are on your list, this week is the week. Which of these 8 gold items are you grabbing? I want to know. Drop a G in the comments for every item that's going in your cart. I read every one of those comments, and I use that feedback to figure out which Costco items to track down for the next haul. And speaking of the next haul, I'm going back to the warehouse next week. And there are 3 items in the frozen aisle that I didn't cover today that I think are even more important than anything on this list for families managing food costs through the summer. One of them is moving off shelves faster than anything I've tracked this year. I'll have the full breakdown for you next week. If you're not subscribed, that video will come and go and you'll miss it entirely. Hit subscribe now, it's free, it takes 1 second and you'll be first to see it when it drops. I'll see you next week. Write your list. Head to the warehouse. And grab the gold before May 1st.